And the main topic of today is going to be a gated community in Katy, Texas, that is called Lake Point Estates. And it's located in Katy, Texas, 77494. The fact that I managed to buy a house in that gated community allowed me to see and understand a lot of things that I wouldn't have seen or understood otherwise. The community is important because it's the juncture point between different actors that appear disconnected, but they're not really disconnected, they're working together. If I can get the attention of of a real investigative agency and they look at that gated community, I think it could have deep consequences, like very impactful consequences in how things are going to play out in the future in many different dimensions. Talking about these incidents, I think is important because it shows coordination and shows the timing of these events, shows that this is a campaign, that this is a deliberate effort, right? Orchestrated by an organization using common, already observed patterns and engaging multiple individuals that seem disconnected, but are not really disconnected, are all part of this organization. With the cameras, I have a software system I developed. Then when the system sees a car approaching, and they send these cars to basically do radio frequency eavesdropping on my satellite connection and cell phones. So when these cameras see a car approaching at a distance of 350, 400 feet, it blocks the network. Surveillance vehicles are doing two things: monitoring the radio frequency spectrum, looking for MAC addresses. So if a car, let's put an example, right? If an FBI agent sees this video and wants to come check this out, when he drives over here, his cell phone has a MAC address, and it will be seen by all these vehicles and reported to the SEBIN, to the FSB, to the Chinese intelligence services, and they'll know that this MAC address that they probably already have tied to an FBI agent was visiting and passed in front of the house of the president of Ambassador Petroleum. So that's basically how it works. Refusing to file a complaint for a missing 3-year-old child, I think it's just an abomination. It's really an abomination of the law enforcement and judicial system. And 2 days after my son is taken, 3 days after my son is taken, I receive this legal harassment letter asking me to stop doing things that they do hundreds of times per day in multiple of their houses in this community. And if this is an operational procedure, I think it shows a level of planning that it's unprecedented. And if that's the case, who in the world has the resources and the knowledge and the previous experience, really, to plan something with that much advance, 10 years of advance, and knowing exactly what could happen? I think it will have to be state-sponsored. So imagine, put yourself in the shoes of a person that faces that, right? Like their son is taken, at the same time they're being legally harassed in two fronts for two different things by two separate group of people. It's a military tactic, right? And then this week, after I mentioned him, now I'm getting sued 2 times and my son is taken. So I think that it's very telling, right? It's very telling of the way they think, the way they operate, and how they weaponize law. Okay, this is funny. So this image over here is an image it's a photo I took with my drone, in which I rode with a tractor, spy, and I put a couple of arrows pointing houses. These two houses next to me are Chinese safe houses. Now, this photo is very important because you see this Mueller Robert over here. The pipeline believes, although the middle name initial doesn't match, but the pipeline believes that this person that owns this house is the same Robert Mueller that was a director of the CIA at some point. To give an idea of if that's something that probably should be verified by a law enforcement agency, right? That's why I felt that it was a dangerous situation. And when Marcelo was taken, I have to be honest, I was relieved, because if I see danger for myself in that house, right, knowing that the ex-CIA director is 200 feet away, or at least a property controlled by him, and that they're sending this possible CIA agent to harass me at my home, having my son there didn't sound like a good idea.